CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Even with temperatures hovering at just 1 degree today, hundreds of Lions fans pouring into the streets of downtown Windsor for a one-of-a-kind street party to watch the team take on the Green Bay Packers in the special U.S. Thanksgiving game, proving not even an Arctic chill can cool their love for football. CTV's Bob Belichico was there.
Go Lions!
Willett Avenue was shut down between Park and University as the city of Windsor hosted a Detroit Lions block party. Fans were there at 10 a.m. ready to hang out and cheer for their team.
Oh my God, every year, Thanksgiving game, go Lions, go! Woo!
You taking the day off to be here?
I absolutely took the day off, but I did open the restaurant before I came here, so it's not all for lunch.
A special occasion for Harper Marchand, who was celebrating her birthday, cheering for the Lions.
It's so exciting because I'm gonna be here for the best team.
Playing hooky on your birthday, to celebrate the best team, go Lions.
The Lions partnered with the City of Windsor to set up the block party, featuring a 32-foot screen with a lot of activations for fans, from face painting for kids and adults to a scavenger hunt and more.
A challenge for all Lions fans that are here. So they scan 4 QR codes all around the block, and then they'll be entered into a giveaway for 2 signed Lions items.
Last year we went to the party at the Factory House. It was incredible. The NFL put on an amazing show, and honestly this year they 10x'd it, and how could you not be here?
A lot of Lions fans. These guys are all decked out in their gear, and we got one cheesehead in the crowd.
I like them because my favorite color is green, and they were really good when I first watched them, so now they're my favorite.
It's a great time. Everybody, you know what, even though Lions fans, Packers fans, and we're the same.
Hundreds braved the cold and watched the game outside. How awesome is it right now to be watching Lions football in downtown Windsor?
This is super awesome. I love this. This is an amazing time. It's a great community. It's a great time. I wish the city would do more of this.
Amazing! Having such a good time down there. We thank you guys for supporting Windsor.
Others watched from inside.
People are excited. There's something exciting to be happening in Windsor, Ontario.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
This raises our question of the day. Do you take the day off work to watch the Detroit Lions play on U.S. Thanksgiving Day? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, have you crossed the Windsor-Detroit border in the last 6 months for leisure? Out of more than 1,500 votes, a whopping 92% say no. In other news, an investigation is underway following a serious crash in Colchester. Just before 5 p.m. on Wednesday, emergency crews were called to Bell Road for a single motor vehicle collision. OPP say the driver was rushed to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Bell Road between Gore Road and County Road 50 East were closed for several hours as part of this investigation. A Chatham man is facing a string of charges following a drug trafficking investigation. On Wednesday, officers searched a home and a vehicle on Riverview Drive in Chatham as part of an ongoing drug investigation. A 34-year-old man was arrested for possession of fentanyl for the purpose of trafficking. Both fentanyl and crack cocaine was found on the man. More drugs, a debt list as well, along with a quantity of cash, was found inside the home. The estimated street value of the drugs is approximately $21,600. Chatham-Kent councillors have signed off on their 2026 budget with a higher tax hike than expected. The final number lands at 4.63%, up from the 3.96% proposed coming into deliberations. For homeowners, the increase works out to about $97 more a year per $100,000 of a house of the assessed value. The jump came after a councillors voted to restore dust suppressants to the base budget, a move championed by Councillor Michael Bondi and supported by several rural representatives who call it a safety and crop protection issue. Adding the service back in means about $1.46 million more in spending. The budget passed on a 10-7 vote. Concerns about safety in downtown Chatham are growing as police say most recent incidents are tied to social disorder rather than crime. A local councillor says residents are reaching a breaking point and the municipality doesn't yet have clear answers. CTV's Chris Campbell is in the newsroom joining us with more on this tonight. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie. This follows a media release from the Chatham-Kent Police Service late yesterday acknowledging rising concerns about visible disorder downtown, but saying most calls police respond to aren't criminal. Today, one councillor told CTV News the situation has escalated quickly and people are scared.
I think the citizens are sort of reaching a boiling point.
Police say officers recently investigated an incident circulating on social media downtown and determined no criminal offense had occurred. According to police, more than 80% of downtown calls now involve social disorder, including homelessness, addiction, and mental health crises, not crime. But Michael Bondi says residents feel the impact every day.
People are fearful because a lot of people are, they act very, very spooky and strange. And, frankly, we're not really used to that here. Like, this isn't downtown Toronto. And it's been such an explosion of this problem here that we're off guard. This hasn't been gradual in Chatham. It's been like, bam, like in the last 18 months.
Bondi says while police continue to respond, the scale of the problem makes prevention difficult.
The police are doing their best. Like, frankly, I think the police are almost in containment mode. There's so many fires going on, literally, from time to time, that the police they can't prevent this. They're not outnumbered, but they can't stay on top of what's going on.
In a statement, Police Chief Kirk Earley said, "We recognize that public safety is at the core of our community, and we want everyone to feel safe and welcome." Police say increased patrols are in place downtown, and officers are working with community partners to connect people in crisis with support.
There's the vandalism and the crime, and the people burning fires. The other thing that really bothers people is that it seems like this element is completely lawless.
Bondi says long-term solutions like shelters and supportive housing take years and millions of dollars, leaving few immediate options.
Municipal council, our hands are sort of tied. It's all about funding. It's all about policing. So at the moment, it's out of control, and we don't know what to do about it.
CTV News reached out to Chatham-Kent Police for an interview with the chief or a spokesperson, but officials were unavailable. Meantime, they're encouraging residents and business owners to continue reporting incidents, saying public safety is a shared responsibility.
If there's a problem, call the police. That's what they're for. Obviously they're slightly overwhelmed by all this stuff, but their advice is to call them, and they'll do what they can.
Bondi says council is now in what he calls a regrouping phase as pressure grows to find a new approach to a problem he agrees the municipality is not yet keeping up with. We also spoke with several business owners and residents who share similar concerns, but all declined to appear on camera. Stephanie?
Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you for this, Chris. Chicken grease left unattended on a stove is getting the blame for a $100,000 house fire. Fire crews were called around 8:15 Wednesday to a home in the 2100 block of Secord Avenue near Rankin Avenue. Officials say a neighbor saw the fire and kicked in the front door of the home to find flames coming from the stove. No injuries are reported, but 2 people have been displaced. The City of Windsor is investigating a string of vandalism at Remington Booster Park after several newly planted trees were damaged. The city says 9 trees were snapped in half and 2 others were uprooted in recent incidents at the park. Forestry crews have removed the damaged trees and filled the areas with topsoil. With the fall planting program now wrapped up, the replanting work will be scheduled for the spring cycle. The city plans to file a police report and is asking anyone who sees vandalism or has information to call 311 or contact Windsor Police. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald is here with our first look at the weather. And Gary, we're talking about cold, very cold and extremely cold temperatures.
Cold temperatures. It feels colder than the ambient temperatures that our thermometers are picking up, of course, registering. But the winds are a big part of this. It's not like the deep freeze is into the -20s, feeling like the -30s. But temperatures at 0, even +1. It felt a lot colder because of these gusty winds over the last 3 days. Only reached a high, well, just shy of +2. We'd normally be closer to about 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. Air quality continues to be good, so that's the silver lining in today's forecast. However, the winds stay strong. Wind gusts could be close to 60, maybe even 70 in some parts of the south shores as well as the north shores of Lake Erie overnight. We're still looking at temperatures around +1. That's 34 degrees Fahrenheit in Windsor, so too in Chatham-Kent. It's about 0 degrees in Leamington, Kingsville, and Amherstburg and Pelee Island, about +1. It feels like about -5 to -6 in extreme southwestern Ontario. We're seeing a bit more clearing overhead, but we will see more clouds coming as the stream of activity lake affects snow squalls, in fact, work their way across the Great Lakes. Lake Huron shores, further inland, Snowbelt region getting hit hard, as you can see here. If you have travel plans east of Chatham-Kent towards Kitchener-Waterloo, of course, London before that, that's where you're likely to see most of the snowfall over the next 2 days. It continues to be steady right now as I speak. In terms of the tallies for us, we're just going to see a light dusting. The flurries that we saw yesterday, a continuation of that circulation that's still in place. It's a slow-moving area of low pressure. Northwesterlies and westerlies setting up so that, look at this, Kitchener-Waterloo could see close to 20 centimeters. Meanwhile, we are south of the core of these streams coming off the lake, obviously, and we'll just see intermittent flurries, but stay cold and windy tonight. The breakdown through 8 o'clock, flurries a possibility, still cloudy, and we're looking at westerlies sustained at 30 km. That's going to be the story with gusts in that 50 to 60 range. Take a look at the 7-day forecast, courtesy of Enercare. Looking at increasing cloudiness tomorrow morning, feels like -10 at around sunrise, high +1 in the afternoon. We're looking at flurries possibly for Saturday, +2, then +4, and a mix between rain showers and flurries on Sunday. Then -1, -1, +1, -1. That's the progression Monday through to Thursday of next week. But it looks like we're into some fair weather cloud and some sunny breaks along the way. That's a look at your weather.
Strong wind gusts and extreme low water levels are to blame for this next story. Another ship was stuck in the Detroit River. The Robert S. Pearson freighter ran aground around 10:30 Wednesday night on the Detroit side of the river. It's the same spot where the Right Honorable Paul J. Martin ship got stuck a few weeks ago. Windsor Harbor Master Peter Barry, along with the U.S. Coast Guard and Windsor Port Authority, teamed up to help free the vessel, which did happen around noon today. Barry says there was no fault with the vessel or its crew, just Mother Nature. The vessel is now being assessed for any possible damage. The low lake levels caused by the strong winds also exposing something pretty cool up near Kingsville, an old shipwreck spotted by Kingsville resident Matt Vermette and shared on social media. He says it was a couple hundred yards from the shore just west of Lakeside Park. Vermette believes it is the wreckage of the Deming, and it's only the second time in his family's lifetime that it has been visible when the water was pushed offshore by high winds. Vermette adds the water is now back and the shipwreck back underwater. Officials say Point Pelee took a blow during yesterday's high winds. The park was closed today due to a large number of downed trees throughout the park. Parks Canada staff were busy all day cutting up trees, limbs, and branches and moving them off roads and trails. Wind gusts yesterday reached speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour. Park staff say Point Pelee will reopen as soon as it is safe for visitors. The town of Kingsville says its request to purchase 2 vacant schools has been denied by the province. Kingsville District High School, Kingsville Public School, and Jack Minor Public School were all vacated in June of 2024, and the newly built Erie Migration District School opened in September of that year. Now, earlier this year, Council expressed an interest in purchasing the schools to build attainable housing and more public spaces. But under new provincial rules, municipalities cannot automatically purchase closed schools. They must either bid in the open market or purchase them in a different manner. The town previously set aside approximately $3 million to potentially acquire the properties.
The last thing that we would want is, someone to come in and they buy it and then they sit on it for a number of years, right? So, that's one thing that you've seen in other areas where it's, someone buys a property and, the financial pieces don't make sense and the economy's not there. And to have those two buildings sit there, I think would be a detriment to our community.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
Blood donations are back in Windsor. Canadian Blood Services has officially resumed taking blood donations at the Plasma Donor Centre on Howard Avenue starting this week. The site opened just last January as a plasma-only center, replacing the old Grand Maris Clinic, but now both blood and plasma donations will happen under one roof. The agency says the need for blood is expected to climb about 10% over the next 5 years, and the return to blood collections will help meet that demand. If you're on Ontario Works, heads up, December payments are not coming by mail. The city says with the ongoing Canada Post uncertainty, they'll again hand out checks and payment cards in person. If you're on direct deposit, nothing changes. You'll get your money as usual. But if you're a check recipient or you're getting a new reloadable payment card, you'll need to pick it up this Friday or on Monday. In Windsor, that's at 400 City Hall Square East. In Leamington, that's at 33 Princess Street. Bring 2 pieces of ID, one with a photo, and call ahead to make sure your checks are ready. Bright and early this morning, Windsor Good Fellows hit the streets collecting donations to help those in need this Christmas. Cold out there, volunteers are scattered around Windsor, Tecumseh and LaSalle. The annual paper drive runs from today until Saturday evening. The organization is celebrating 115 years, while the paper drive itself is in its 111th year. The group has a fundraising goal of $375,000 this year and are aiming to raise 45% of their annual funds through the paper drive. The sales from the drive support community programs, including food banks, children's breakfast programs, school nutrition programs, lunch bags for the homeless, and their Christmas dinner box.
It's been surprising this year, even though, there might have been some economic trouble this year. There has been some pretty generous people giving 5s, 10s, 20s. Some people getting the occasional 50, but most cases, people give whatever they can.
The town of LaSalle is lacing up for the grand opening of its new outdoor skating loop tomorrow. The loop is officially set to open Friday night at LaSalle Landing, with a ribbon cutting scheduled for 6:30, followed by community skate, weather permitting. The mayor even testing out the ice this week, sharing photos of her first spin on the brand new trail. The festival-style opening runs from 6 to 9 with light shows, a magician, family activities, and a lineup of food trucks. The outdoor ice trail will be open daily from 9 to 10. And if you'll be in the city, Bright Lights Windsor returns to Jackson Park tomorrow night. The gates open at 5:30 with the opening ceremony and tree lighting at 6:30. The city says this year's display will be bigger and brighter, running nightly through January 7th. Gary joins me now for a final story tonight. And Gary, last night was the Dollar Dog Day at the Windsor Spitfire games. I would like to say an event a lot of people like. So how many hot dogs do you think were sold? And eaten, obviously.
500? Who knows?
500.
Yeah,
okay, close. Actually, not close at all.
Oh.
Listen to this. Fans put out a big number last night, downing 5,660 hot dogs at the game. But it wasn't just about the snacks. The team was also collecting non-perishable for cans for a cause, supporting the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. Everyone who donated was entered to win a prize pack worth more than $250. The 22nd annual Cans for a Cause drive returns to Devonshire Mall on December 12th. That's, over 5,600 hot dogs. It's a lot of hot dogs.
Hey, I'm all for hot dogs for a great cause, too.
Yes, and Cans for a Cause at Devonshire Mall is coming up shortly, and we both, I'm assuming, will be there to take part in that. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching our webcast edition of CTV News at 6.
For your late local newscast tonight at 11, of course, Michelle Molesky will be back with us. So stay safe and warm in these windy conditions.
Stay warm.
It's cold.